You're allowed.
So you brought it up, Lydia. First of all, I didn't know what the hell swatting was. I thought that was like similar to twerking. I was like, wow, TimCast is taking a sexual turn, and I like it.
Right?
And then I found out what it was, and I was so scared because I was like, oh wow, this is something people could get shot over, like over nothing.
So they just walked into y'all's house in the middle of the stream?
So here's the thing, because my man was out on the driveway when they pulled up, he talked to them before they even got to us. So thank fucking God that he was out there, honestly, because it was like, if they had not known, nobody would have been in the front of the house. They would have just run upstairs, like swept the whole house, because somebody called and told the cops that some guy had shot his wife. Like they literally thought that somebody had been
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was great times.
And then the cops can just come into your house for that and knock down the door?
It's exigent circumstances, so they don't need a warrant. It turns out that's a really fun discovery. Yeah, they don't need a warrant if they think there's like this emergent circumstance. So yeah, that's fun. I really hope we figure out who did that, because I would like to.
Because like theories.
Yeah.
I want to hear your theories on who you think did it.
I really don't know. There are plenty of people who are salty at us just because we're online. And I won't point any fingers. I really don't have any theories at this point. The only thing I could come up with, and we talked about this on the show, was that we had Marjorie Taylor Greene on. She has a lot of haters. So
only a specific amount of people know your address, so it has to be somebody that's kind of close with you guys, right?
Or done the show.
So even before Tim and I came out to the house, because we came out at the same time because we were doing the show, even before we got out there, we'd been doxxed. So that's kind of been floating around. Honestly, I'm surprised it didn't come up earlier.
Right.
And I don't think this will be the last time. And we're going to have some form of security, just somebody out there who can talk to them, so we don't need to rely on, like, you know, our CTO possibly being out there.
Or the feds just running into your house. What the hell?
Right?
That's so rude.
I was watching a clip, and I'm like watching Tim's face, and I'm like, oh, he seemed pissed that they were able to just like walk into the streaming room.
We were.
And I wonder if he's thinking like, wow, that's how easy somebody can get access to me. They can just look like they're a cop or say, I mean, I'm going nuts. I'm going 0 to 60. I'm like, oh, anyone can just say they're a cop and they're swatting you. And here we are. And like, boom, they already have all this access. And I was like, I was just thinking like what I would do if I was him, and like how I would protect myself in that situation. And you just don't fucking know. And you guys had Brandon Tatum on, who was an ex-cop. Perfect guy to have on.
Really exactly. This is perfect. This is awesome. So I was
like
actually
sitting there narrating it in live time, like, this is what's happening now.
Exactly.
Okay, that's that.
And then
tactic.
we immediately got to talk about it with a former cop. I was like, this is so perfect. This is such good timing. So
it was Brandon Tatum who swatted you guys, just so you could be like, all right, let me explain what just happened.
Did you see the cop first, or did you get like an IM or something?
I got an IM because he was messaging me. He's like, cops are here. I was like, what? What's going on? He's like, oh, they think that he's like, I think we're being swatted because they think that somebody was shot here or whatever. And I was like, okay. He's like, they might come in, they might come upstairs. I heard a bang downstairs, and I was like, oh God, they're gonna come upstairs. I was like sitting on the edge of a roller coaster because I was like, it's gonna happen. I'm going to be the only one who knows it's going to happen.
You're like, how do you subtly interject that into
the
stream as well?
Did you message
by
him?
the way,
you just said
show.
You can't message Tim and say like BTW.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't look at his phone during the show. He's very focused. Yeah, there's no way for me, short of like throwing a rolled up paper at him, to get his attention.
You need to have a little whiteboard off to the side.
I need to
pull up for emergencies.
And like a light. We're being swatted. Oh my God, help.
Like, do this.
You should have spammed the chat.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know if they're going to come up here. So I guess we'll just find out. It's very exciting.
Did you guys get their badge numbers?
We didn't, but we are going to probably, we've been told we can FOIA all this stuff, and I think we will.
FOIA?
FOIA. It's a Freedom of Information Act request.
Right.
Yeah, so we're probably going to get like the 911 call and see if we can figure out who it was. Odds are not that we know who it was. And it probably was.
I made a video on my channel.
Oh yeah.
On theories on who did it.
Yeah, who do you think it was? Who'd you come up with?
Oh, this is like a game of Clue.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. I came up with a few suspects. So
oh boy.
Yeah, so I don't know. Should I spoil it?
You can spoil it. Tell me what you guys think.
Okay, so I did a democracy style thing on it, and I had my chat vote, and I presented each one's case. So like one was Jack Murphy, one of them was the people from the Criminal Order, and then the other one was Sam Hyde, international terrorist.
Right. He keeps getting away with it. I know.
And then the fourth one was Fresh and Fit, because Fit is a former Fed.
Oh,
and he's been
true.
there.
That's true. He has been here. That's a good point. I don't know. See, and at the end of the day, I just don't know. That would be simplest for it to be one of those possible options who kind of knew us personally. But I do think that it's because Marjorie Taylor Greene is so kind of inflammatory. I think she's great. I think she's really interesting, and I think she was awesome on the show. But I know she's got detractors, so it's possible.
I know exactly what you mean. There was one time with me, because people can be really vindictive about that, so that's a good point. For example, my manager got swatted, like, because of me. Someone didn't like me, and they swatted him. And they could have killed his dogs. Yeah, he happened to be outside, so, like, he was able to de-escalate it, but they literally swatted him.
And if nobody's out there to meet them, do they just barge in? Like, did they break anything in the house, Lydia?
They didn't. They came in really calm because Andy was out on the front and able to meet them. So thank fucking God. Honestly, I'm starting to think you need someone out there like on the front 24/7 to make sure you
Let me do it. I'll wear a tight dress.
There you go.
I'll be with a plate of cookies. I'll be like, hello.
Put a coffee table out there so she can just dance on it all day.
Exactly.
You know,
yes.
I'm sure you guys have it, but maybe think about getting like the Ring app, or if you have a gate. Like
we do. So we have security cameras. Yeah. We have security cameras. So we have the footage from that. We have my coworkers doing the whole hands up thing. First thing they did, cops said they followed all their instructions. They told them you can't enter without a warrant. And they're like, nope, exigent circumstances. So in we go. So that was very exciting because Tim was like, oh my gosh, someone let them in without demanding a warrant. But no, it turned out that everybody insisted and they were like, no, we have to. And I kind of understand. It's like, if you really think that somebody was shot in this house, you're probably not going to want to mess around. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go get a warrant or whatever and come back.
See, I was wondering if Tim was like freaking out, because I think just from what I've observed from him, he seems to be someone who's like very cool under pressure. Like I saw that fight with the Raw guy. And if it was me watching it, I was like, I hate any kind of like fighting or like conflict, because I always feel like I have to brace, like I'm about to get hit. But he really held it together, and that's a real skill. I don't know if it's like a man-woman thing, but
he is very composed.
Yeah,
always.
He's been in so many, like covering so much just in his experience, like covering like riots and stuff.
He was in Turkey. He was in Egypt. He's been in a bunch of different like actual kind of war zone situations. So he's pretty chill about, like a cop just walked into the studio and it's like, all right,
copy.
Fine. There's a cop here now. No big deal. He didn't kick the door in or anything. So it's like, whatever. It's not big deal.
And Lydia, you're like, it's my birthday. He's a stripper. Surprise.
No, I wish he was a little chubby for that. Some kind of
boo. Yeah.
Oh, well.
It was probably a bulletproof vest, though.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Yeah.
That's bulletproof. I appreciate that. They were probably really nervous too. If they really did think that some guy just shot his wife and was ready to kill himself, they were probably like really on edge, because that's like an active shooter type situation. So
did they know? I don't want to sound like you guys should have big timed yourself, but like, did they know who you guys were, or did they just come into a house?
No, but the recording does say they're like, it's like they're recording a political podcast or something. So we're going to go check them out. And I was like, that's all they know. I'm glad they don't know about our politics or care about our politics. I'm glad they're just like, oh, they're just recording something, whatever. So yeah. And they even said on the recording, they're like, oh, we think this might be a swatting. So I was like, okay. Yeah.
Ooh, that's really stressful.
Yeah. But it's all good. All's well. Yeah. Well. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Right.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. Might start a trend. Kind of hope not.
God.
It's kind of stressful.
If you're going to send cops to somebody's house, make sure they're really good looking.
Exactly.
And
I always like the firefighters when they would come to like the hospital where I work, because they were always very
have a little oil going.